okayfm 101.7.
Eyana.
Ne dem we.
Welcome. Anopai mechiao etia okayfm mechie fojina.
Okayfm nya afonyina ajo so na we say nka antomu a nka lawyer Gary wa uni abefra ka say o so onyane onyane dan mu underground ho nti underground wo de
propaganda.
Anano what the man fan common free June 4 ena eja NDC for mudi ne kama san say Mampenda da Rollins won e kofa eba he na ade a MPP for no e de ayemo ba ko ne say na former president Rollins tiasien na June 4 no na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama no ntanko afedi wa wuya obi a wan tanko nyina mu nyina kyese krama agina mu anifi na mu nyina moko na afei ensem bia former president Rollins kan no ade kye ye no so wo mbeyi mu no pa ba ko ne se culture of silence wo ho se nipa enye oman ni no bla 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 se minim se wo TV what did say at you saying
Yo, Akwame, once again, the chair more thing when we say platform way a platform for education, information, entertainment. Now they say they're preaching and so then at the account. Now Rabbi Prekope. When we say Enkani Israel nanka we be for Rabbi Kwame Chikese.
Ochechefo.
Ochechefo. Na yesi na yemu ne se sebe June 4th ene ensemsema ebemu. In na in the conditions ana e prevailing at the June 4th at the buy. No quelling yabi.
Ena mama fa we nka ho because we almost say ensem bia like mumpanimfo no bi keka ye no kamia ye say more pressure enka under such prevailing conditions no you for betumi kura aba because mo hwan uprising mo bo hwan ni ade
so se si ano June 4th na everba no attitude na so best sound so by
fix
anything and there which means we say hashtag fix a country and what have you nina a part of that whole understanding say you be nyoma timemofo epe look back when men can be sure when we say from the time I independence able do something to it Constitution bia and survive beyond 10 years, except the 1992 Constitution.
Minimsa pa. Hey, any mama ma papa a lawyer okujeto.
Me baho.
Okay.
So what you said recently, Baba Bontia Beka said, with the benefit of hindsight, it was not right. Ghana Bar Association boycott June 4th. So
okay, June 4th for now constitution.
The creation of the constitution, sorry.
You sata wouldn't masem be see.
No, Baba.
Na me wafa. No ye bookman. Me fan say transport chairman. I want no Kobe. And one say ye ko twro mra wo fa abro be kobi
na ba kwa me when say and that is why this particular 1992 constitution surviving in say yankope elite so in yankope dan amo mu say omuntina mu na omuntro we Pampered na fu daddy yede maye ma menom a omoton yoma wodwam ye ma minima omoye hairdressers. Ye papa no ye nuanuma omoye babafo. Yen papa no ma no omoye driver for. Trade unionists. The very lowest in the society. Not necessarily the upper class, that be. You ye bisa those people say, then na mope. Emra ni babeko democratic rule. What do you want? Ye bisa baba or say, prepare a situation where the chemistry bonne krana, I should be subject to fair trial rules. But what you say?
Eje metwase here. So what kind of history of common law? 1066. Ebra when for one conquer England, you know.
The Norman conquest.
The Norman conquest. Yes, the Norman conquest. Now one gada emra no mu dibu omo man nyina so that so called common laws. Na wam kekambo mu na ebeye emra na chese sa amra kra na no omo de emra amna ya kuchegu nkrata so na wam ni mumra no aye popular with them no sa bi na enensa so bi ne si yon.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Inti Oshe UK omo be pass the friend the Bill of Rights. It's over 800 years old.
Yes.
No ina ye nananum omunim ye maamenum omunim nti emra na emre no ba ye si entro constitution the bia ye papa Professor Dr. SKB Asante owo bia anopai mesiano waye bi pa magana omu ejina mu then DS Anan, but also kind of the Speaker of Parliament. Sanko for Nina Nekikambo Moon or Modesa Constitution with the tour. Satano, a lawyer for Kukudam, Ghana Bar Association, ASU, now Sanko for the Sebio Sana near Betsy. So Sanko for the didn't in your backward night table, so at your constitution. Then we will But in summer, na ye maamenum ye papanum ye nuanom eka say and none the best thing I see here no bra and then na sustaining this democracy because Sebio okay the biblical story Solomon is here the two women so okay but ono okare abofra no ewo ni yem for 9 months no emre no di o se ma yenkum no abofra no ntena ho no onyi a obi abetimi esuma no obetimi abeye abofra pa abeye penipa ewo omamu ha saa na 1992 constitution no abeye Ghana for ehu the constitution as their baby so yina are taking steps from 1992 basically to protect it because yani keep it in our womb in the edna Bible thing. It is Osha MVP Yakokota. You see, the 1992 Constitution is an organic living document. But what I say, a organic. It means a live that. It's a above eternal. Sir, look at the U.S. Constitution. It's over 200 years. We are very confident, sir. This year, 1992 Constitution, one day,
Lawyer,
200 years.
Lawyer, I say, Ebra, Donald Trump by now, oppressor of the 13th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Yes, U.S. here. And Nadia, you're citizen. Yeah, me tell you, I'm because chia, betoy. Now, Crano, Mammy is Scottish, Papa is German.
They say, Nina Nanum Eddie ship steamer in the free Germany, a bar America born so.
Wow.
Yes, steamer.
A worker steamer, pa. Hey, Lawyer was one you.
Oh, the back one.
Debut, stigma party.
Well, we said, almost million litigation, everything could be London.
Aye.
No more call London, now we use
Steamer, no, they call.
Almost use steamer.
Yes.
Almost they call London. Steamer, a normal fire, they could be America Bontin so. But let's so that we focus on the issue.
Yeah,
you cannot make any answer back on me. Yet nananom, ye mamenom. Through quote unquote ignorance, so-called ignorance, no more putting up this 1992 constitution. And meeting a constitution where actually lasted over 20 years. Because Ghana for a constitution as their baby. So they'll protect. And we have come to the realization, say, look, regardless of how bad a government is, 4 years we have an opportunity to deal with it. Every 4 years we have an opportunity to deal with it. And we have come to accept that. But the issue now there were attitudinal issues, there were behavioral issues, governmental incompetence, corruption, anything ever are taking a different form and shape. Rakwame, na mekai, me professor bi ana opema sempa, meso na me di obuo kese pa de mano, Professor Honorable Togati. Na oche me company law. Na same ya na oba class anu o kan me say, o say and the beauty of your democracy me say. Say Edudzi ba radio so sebe no be di matem kra na. Me so me call the same radio station so I could di matem. Inti pass ya be ko die emba so. And you know, at the core of this, no, and the issue of free speech. Anytime we are black women, would Obama and Crawford asem aka omobosu biano, it does not help the constitutional order. In fact, okay, the Supreme Court decision in NPP versus IGP, and Brana. Before which me a demonstration or yetre, I just said, Oku IGP, na IGP ama okwan, so which me a yetre. And also which me a demonstration no, bakwame. Supreme Court, one of the things are almost so can say, look, the 1992 Constitution gives the citizen the right to demonstrate without any limit whatsoever. Now, to the extent that the Public Order Act, Emma, an individual called the IGP. So, no, a bit decided whether so be demonstrate by way of permission authorization, and unconstitutional. So that provision in the Public Order Act, the Supreme Court has declared not to be unconstitutional in Omuchamo. Bakwame. Bisa say the conditions are not prevailing under military regimes. Before which we are demonstrating, I just will be more quiet. Are we not experiencing it today? Now, I mean, we are experiencing, in fact, the worst form of it. Look, I have always maintained, Sebe.
But we have a scenario. Nipa bi so nan utie president Kasemwa what can ever culture of silence no was it he's the most vilified president ever.
And you know correct. Akufo-Addo has been so over pampered.
Oh no.
Bakwame make us remember.
Who there?
Look, upe mampenia that pampano. In fact, he's basically Nana. In the true sense of the word. Look, we are Ghana for a treating Nanano. Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo. Omu treating it to say, Sebio, king. Nana in the true sense of the word. Nana is not subject to any control. Nanado is not subject to any democratic control. Say with the open way. And yes, sir, I want me no one can say if you want go to court. Because look, he is above the law. They are not in war yet. Look, he has been over pampered. Black woman said you.
So Obi Busau say the open way as in what? A dear bang and a yeah.
Black woman, what do you mean now? Even a classic example. The other day, Minonia and Commodity been a make sure say. Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo beye man peli no. Onankasa edeko parliament. In the amended the Minerals and Mining Act. Also the prevailing punishment and it was not tough enough. In 2019, or passed the Minerals and Mining Act amendments to increase the punishment for galamsey and its activities. Gakwame. At that time, Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo anka say Sebio say a cho or galamsey site another beer. Sebi yenshi excavator one kanda. 1 year amendment no so that. And then under your leadership, Amra man who kwano and on our year can also go to court. Why do you think that the president can confidently tell you and I say go to court? In fact, Professor H. Kwesipe Embrana Manpenika as go to court. Or your Facebook post be na very instructive. Or say Sakasana or Mampeni Ekano. And yet kasapa. Na the perception out there in the public, say, the president is simply telling you, say, go to court. My people are there waiting for you. And it is
but you being a lawyer.
Or see, that said no. It brings a certain perception. And that perception, let me say, the public confidence are citizens are war, possibly in the court system. No, that is what you are undermining. And that obi say mampenia what did the
mebo nese bibi on was say go to court. And only say
Kwame, one will say in politics there will be a kind of perception. Mm-hmm. And sometimes in politics, perception is really the reality. Mm-hmm. Perception at the political level may actually be the reality. Sa and Crawford, Edudzi, Efa. Anything at OSHA, even in measuring corruption, you use perception. Anything at OSHA Transparency International, we use the Corruption Perception Index. It is for a good reason. Now, say, Okonya Mampenia, what means na a judge of winning? I can say go to court. What will be the basis? And the one case I won't pass the law, no, Sebi. The Minerals and Mining Act, what Black Kwame, with signature in it. Me Edudzi, my signature in Duho. Omampeni kwame assented to that law. It will buy. And now, for the purpose also, looking at the fight against galamsey, the current method is not sufficient because Oklahoma Mampeni 2015 amendment, Udrin say no, the punishment is not stiff enough. In 2019, what they call Parliament in the amendment, was signing here. What your press conference cry? Now, Kasa Ghana for. It is a ne, Ukwane Mampeni, Anna Mampenia, who to me like any other president to take a bill to Parliament under a certificate of urgency. It is a, what can say? All the methods that we're using in this fight against galamsey and achieving results. So the best way, is obey then, Sebe, what the burning of excavators become one. And one is what for Attorney General. Say, go for your word, Dame. Honorable, I want a bill immediately. Introduce the burning of excavators on site. Legislation. Wow. Now, for such mensa busu, agent business for the day. Speaker, the BIA. The next day, yeah. They are passing. The next morning, they are two tables. On the page, here, who are best signing, and who are doing is governed by the rule of law. But you cannot have a president who are yake so a legal luminary, not the winning by a lawlessness. You are undermining public confidence in the rule of law. Maybe, sir, recently a question. The Mami Kejinfua, MPP National Women Organizer, Rapami, the Shiano only once. The dear Supreme Court Emma judgment. Oh, yes, come, beautiful woman. And then I bet you guys say, oh, you're the general manager for extra gold mining. And yes, I buy penny for Uncle the concession and say over 10 excavators. What can say? Police work for one fellow. Police for actual monster friend is that she is engaged in an illegal activity. You may make a police statement.
One hour ask me.
Yeah, Mammy Kejimfua. National Women Organization.
Me Pachombo. Yes, Mammy Kejimfua. Issue was see. Now, police for to Safreno. We no echo bo abem yede.
No, the Mepa says if in the wisdom of the task force, the anti-illegal mining, blah, 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 task force, in their wisdom, the Jumana extra gold area was an illegal activity. For which reason, Omukoshi excavators on their concession now. Why has the general manager of the company not been arrested? Because Sebe, excavator, any nine, will be the big true payloader, the alcohol. You need to instruction. So the mere fact that you are burning them means that they are engaged in an unlawful activity. That is why you cannot go to Ashanti Gold to go and burn their excavators. Because they are doing legal mining. You are burning this one because they are engaged in an unlawful activity. So to the extent that we are burning, the logical consequence is that the people who are responsible ought to be arrested. Has anybody been arrested from extra gold? No. Meanwhile, you've gone ahead to burn their excavator. And then America will say, just in 2018, there's a company almost friend, a Heritage Imperial Gold Mining.
Yeah, me, I won't start crowd.
Fantastic. And now, the same Galamsey task force we every concession as a form was established a year John Mayer. So this company, Echo High Court will matter. That's what I mean. Menu can say, just this 2020 year, the High Court in Kumasi, it gives a decision on the matter. And they are buying damages $50 million. That's what I mean. The reckless conduct of this Galamsey task force, and the judgment debt of $50 million at the two buying. So this is what the president is saying going to court. Black woman, Sebi, if you been in pen and
no,
Black woman, just 30 seconds.
Okay.
This 50 million judgment dirty. Another down to Akufo-Addo, another Galamsey task force fee. Almost use your pocket money to pay. They will not pay with their pocket money. The payment will be done by you and I. Trotro driver, taxi driver, hairdresser, market women, taxis or $50 million. Say $1 by 5.7 now. We are talking about almost 80 million Ghana cedis. Yeah, this gold mining company. Omunkodi. Can you imagine what 15 million? And now, recently, Kwame Sefakai said Gideon Wako, Vice President office. Almost 300,000 Ghana cedis at the break, Kwame. Say Omunfankoto say incubators. Anna. Yeah, the $15 million at the common private businessman free. Black woman, how many incubators now $15 million between me?
What coming for Mammy? Me was social media set and grow for actual set scanner vice president de Bayano. His Excellency Dr. Mamu Baumiano. Because of the Kokro Foundation, you know, or the bread despite media. Mr. Mwada, and yet despite media, Kokro Foundation, no, and yet despite media, dear. And Yanka say, Kwame Sefakai, the foundation. Why you say, what the beton incubator. But, and I'm saying, be a programmer, or ye the Kokro Conit in Pancho, and yet despite dear, or say, Kwame despite, and yet the onion is for upon dear. It's a private. It's
important, sir. Yeah. Clarify some of these.
I'm going to social media, say. Or say, Kwame, despite see and Tracy come on and over to Kubit and Patch on Tessa. Foundation is separate.
Where your friend of the Tomo. Now, Kwame said you, it made $15 million. Over 89 million Ghana cedi, million, baku, 89 million Ghana cedi. And can it know 890 billion. Yet the Nina at the comma one private businessman because a Birmingham penny for a reckless decision to go and destroy the mining concession and the equipment also. Judge Nancy was at the cost of 500,000 Ghana cedis as a data. On the basis of all of this, the man beneath it me could simply so. I can say, go to court. And the one, he said, the government of Ghana to pay a judgment debt of $15 million. In some way, Nekosu or Memuntin America say. And yes, the man he's above the law. Sebe, the open and warrior.
Madam, the matter was adjudicated by the court, and the court gave a ruling. And no, there was some penny saying,
it may say the same conduct in or justify. Sebe, Brahma. Share papa despite. Na Obiaba Ofidi Zabeka something defamatory. Onipana you Akokot, Wanya judgment. Na despite group or despite media. Niambi Tiki, Yamishano court or be defended defamation suit. We will be Amishana.
Why?
Tiki. Defamation suit no ba man ya odi me new ba it will be a no baby no about court no be defending at the end
no a problem or one say time a court to be free issue no na sabre choba for no near there no bia nwie aduane nti ye da bia what the tea ne be defend case but case so
Siki attention you very badly. Now, the in say, or Bebaho, no be defend the issue. At the end, judge say, defamation on our platform, you are 2 million. Sebe, that's by shareholders, no matter you are 2 million. If you are not able to move, shareholders, he can and no. You see, they are good to judgment for defamation. Next time, Naba, what you say, that's why I could not simply say, Oban the studio, now, or can the Opa go to court? No, because in the pocket, in a Sikana, if Sikana and Quebec shareholders or no, I call directly. Now, said you, Nanka $15 million, say Ghana is owned by President Akufo-Addo as a sole shareholder. No, be using 50 million of shareholders' money. And they could try judgment that we are. Oh, Jason and Kobe Nasim Peswa can the Oka. Oh, Jason Big Nasim Peswa can the Oka. Because it is going to have direct impact in his pocket. Under this circumstance, a taxpayer and a back of that bill. So he has nothing to lose. All we are saying is that this country is
and this was one. There was nothing like judgment date.
Kwame, say judgment date it comes in all forms and sizes. You are abrogating a contract when you are not supposed to do. Different. Sometimes police brutalities. Different kinds. But I'm saying that where you can see very reckless decision being taken, when we say Adia Wuyi, a desire back. Now we say one number here. That is the scenario that I'm talking about. When we say Adi, Meya, at the car, okay, and family go to court. Why would you want to do that?
They have certain informations. Lawyer, can you hear me? Lawyer, can you hear me? Lawyer, Emunye. Hello.
Ayana.
Yeah, Emunye.
They are not making say, woman benin. Unkwana with me law under a certificate of agency. Within a day, corroborate me a law. If we all agree there, the current system of dealing with Galamsey is not effective, and that we believe that burning excavators is the most effective method. What we do is to go to Parliament to amend the law. Then it gives legal authority and backing to the task force to do the unbearable. In the past, because no one needs to me to do whatever the judge found their conduct to be illegal, and now it cost damages of $15 million. I said, "The someone would he act in this manner?"
The modus operandi of the phase 2 of Sagalamsa ye Kui. Me assure say bia minu ye nim se bia one more omo site on me udi mami kejemfo ade any example bia one more information say no they are not supposed to mind it.
And I ask you a simple question. Under the Minerals and Mining Act, Section 99, the amended provision, it says, what you will be no illegal mining at Chedon. Okay, arrest the person. It is a war intel. Say extra good, your mammy cajun for a general manager. Why have you not arrested her?
No, your point, pa.
Why have you not arrested her? Because the mere burning of the excavators on her side presupposes she was involved, or her company is involved in something unlawful. Why has she not been arrested?
Because Ugidi say the
No.
Okay.
Meanwhile, from the time I said she basis and no arrest whatsoever. Meanwhile, you've gone ahead to burn excavators on her site. It is a chna said you, make it in for me document a minerals commission in Kikahu assigning Kikawa mom. If you are court, local can say the way na illegal, unlawful, blah 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 blah. Na court a trap damages. Now, yes, the Ghana taxpayers' money, as the Mema a company, I am making for a general manager. Now, or my no, na ye na. So, back on me, and some year came, and I pay, and I come out to say, Nanado Danko Group buying $50 million at top incubators to share to all hospitals in this country. Yet the Momomi, and you go see and pay, yet the better wanting so. Because the issue of incubators is at the core of humanity. Conception, birth. That is critical. Sebi, say a bank was $50 million. Why should Dr. Baumia be the one now giving 300,000 Ghana cedis to a foundation, a private foundation? It is something when you can say to my Mufu say, Sebio, dear, your man penny a yeno. In the words of Sir Charles Bekububiana, or say when a luminary turns into a lawless lawyer. I mean, you don't need this. Let's do things in accordance with the rule of law. Winning, Embrana, Plato, Aristotle,
Confucius,
and the Trasimacus, actually the Plato Republic. Omoka, might is right. But what is here?
Mitiopa.
Might and wanding is the right thing. Maybe much now, Cassie Darby. Say might, be a writer. The very people who are weak in the society cannot even have a say. So let's have what we call the rule of law, so that we'll all be subject to the law and its dictates, so that might will no longer be right, because then you will turn the country into jungle. What I said, you said it. Me know what I say. Okay, say recently fix the country for years or may the more. Police for echo judge or ex party. Echo G injunction 80 or more. And rather almost here. Imposition of Restrictions Act, one a party, and then another Danko Akufo-Addo.
Yes.
The signature and the dano. And now also the executive instrument at the by EI to give effect and teach to the law.
okayfm.
And of the region they cited COVID-19 and Sebi, okay before election, me know this uncle. That time that conversation by Asemsa Kawa boys at the mobile. Okay. Police for Ama young women in Chebi the opportunity to demonstrate. Was it because it has to do with Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo? There are several families in this country. They said, in fact, the last time, the uncle B, who we were crashing, I feel bad now. I send my minimum uncle crashing for the funeral. Satam Nana, second wave, no buyer or man penny attaching everything again. Into Safino and not say Omunchamo. Because they have to obey the laws of man penny at the upper. That is the rule of law. Nobody is above the law. Sebe, Omunyan for will know cratchy. Takra will know cratchy bakope. Sir John a year. Who dear Omuya Yembrana, Dr. Barmiesco.
There been a sabre ni pay. What
Who
I mean, we said here, I'm for Krakasa from Ghana Medical Association, if for
Pity Black on the Sebio, Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo Nebamia, Omuya above the law.
Oh, Debbie, me when say, say,
there is no justification.
I mean, justification, would you come against Debbie and Cabboy and comedy say, one more soon, sir, a domo buakam, I can't tell you.
Say one because I will be your record.
Yeah, lawyer.
Good we say, we a witness. Now, all started Casasa. Judge Nobel Marquis would demean.
Oh, Baba, there is a witness who is a stammerer and then find it difficult to describe a situation.
Oh, stammerer, only when difficult questions are asked you. That's your market. But, Brackwami, they not make it in analysis. And ran woman pinning how they ran by. And as I speak to you, church members of this Pastor Chris now, so you can send me from.
Meka. Yes. Eseba life.
Pastor Chris, not sorry for you. Recently, Omukoye program is a conference center and the Dumo. Fantasy Dome, one of those places. Minuka say they have been prosecuted in the justice court. So Omar violated the laws of this country.
101.7.
But what they here? They are being prosecuted for violating the laws of this country. Is the president about the law? It is a catch now say your man penny who say it's about the laws of this country. The manifestation is there. Chibi. You know, Chibi. Permission. Go ahead and demonstrate. Fix the
Baba, we are lawyers. So when him say, you didn't in fact case ba kubi, medi case ba kubi. And now what is the example?
No, that's what I mean. The same Imposition of Restrictions Act.
Of
19,
yes.
1 hour past the EIs. At the time, I know.
But Sir John, you are Sir John.
No, now, Sir John says, that's what I mean. Me, Sir John. Because we are all Monday born. When we just in the co-radio program, or my main castle.
Oh. Okay. Or my main castle. Yedin, asoma mekano. Mahamano or Jitum. You know, another cassette. Mahama Yintum. And yet, quite sure coffee. The bush has a minute to command, and I make me bar. Look, all my main castle. Okay, I'm back. You could. Any Pastor Chris, that's on your friend. Christ Embassy.
Fantastic. They are being prosecuted in court. Sebi, a course. Na Bamia say, "What na ne kamu?" They na omuye ono. It's like muye no crown, muye no more. Mudie, mubetimi aye noise. We are the law. Ajiman. Asasiabai. Yentijai. Jitakoso. What kind of governance system is this? If fix the country for it me enkoye yenche to say abai make things better for Timamufua. Then look at the Yakoye. Look at the Yakoye. Iti Brakwame, the air kokakosui ewo memoa. It is not good. We can do better. Look, MAP, they are not making it say, let's say, man, any deal. On Tunasi, No, bisa me ho say you at age 77, what legacy am I leaving for myself? What legacy?
OKFM.
When I am no longer the president, will people still say, oh, one time a legal luminary was the president, and under him, free speech, rule of law, all those things were enhanced. Can we have a thing like that? So sometimes, when one of the most powerful Roman emperors, Marcus Aurelius, or Yebibi, he had a man by him. Na onipa ne tuma a wɔyɛ ne sɛ kakra no attach no whisper into his ears. He said, Emperor, remember that you are still a man. Iti na Roman fo nso de no mo kɔgye ɔmo ahemfo so. Iti ɔkɔ bebi na nkurɔfo ɛmba no so, oh, Emperor, you are more like a god. Woyɛ nyame. Na nipa na ɔbɛn no attach no kakra. Say, remember that you are still a man. Oh yeah, no, be a body no so no ye will na papa no attach na kakra. O se kai se we nipa. Bia kai se we nipa.
Always remember that you are a man.
Always remember that you are a man. Nipa beka bia ye be ma also to the status of nyame. But se kai se we nipa. That was the work as Nipan. Even to the annoyance of the king, he would still touch him and remind him, say, remember, say, we nipa. But a man believing such a person around him. Obey remind him and say, Mr. President, there's something called the rule of law. Kakra na dipa no attaching that Mr. President.
And your rule of law, yeah, was say, Kokoti.
Yakwame. Now, Sebio Yakwame, Sebio, Mr. Wu, with the Messeka. Na the Oda, na Insuato, no one here. So, for instance, I'll be with for Marco.
And you boom.
Yakwame, I said, men are all candidate. I said, then how can you see? If you don't look, you say, if you enhance the rule of law, look, recently, in Norway, I'm prime minister. I think say a birthday party. The maximum number of people that are expected per COVID laws, pay 13. And for now, no more saying 13. When we say prime minister, you're fine.
Wow. Yeah, one habit me a fan.
Living legends. I mean, how do you do that?
Okay.
OKFM 101.7.